Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Welcome to this new video here on Bitcoin. We're going to do a full update on the current market situation. Price is relatively steady, but there's some interesting things going on. There's something I wanted to focus on here at the start of the video, which I think is very interesting and definitely something you need to know. However, I first of all wanted to say that my nose has been acting up a little bit more this morning. So if you find the sniffing, etc., annoying, I completely understand. Then it's probably best to wait for the middle of the day market update. Usually in kind of the middle of the day it usually goes away. But just quick heads up, now let's get into the video. So Bitcoin itself, like I said, relatively stable here. It's doing pretty good actually. I still think we can get that move into the main resistance level. I still do not think we can break above that. However, I mean, in market circumstances like these, we have to be relatively fluid on the markets and to make decisions very, very quickly. For example, I still think, I mean, if we take a look at the short term here, which we will do, I think you have to be slightly bullish on Bitcoin, but it's still true that the S&P 500 has a massive gap to the downside. That gap eventually will be filled. The 2nd of April, we have Liberation Day, of course, with all the tariffs coming in. So one of the main drivers of the bullish momentum we've seen in the last week has been the stock market. If the stock market goes down to fill that gap, Bitcoin will drop down as well, right? So we're still very reliant on these other fundamental factors. But like I said, there are some interesting things going on. We'll talk about Bitcoin a little bit later. First of all, what I wanted to show you is this tweet by Ape Trade, which, by the way, I mean, this is one of the most valuable accounts you can follow on X. He posts a lot of amazing value about trading. This is not sponsored or anything, but I do think you need to know. But what he posted is very interesting. Now, this is very small, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. Now, at least you will be able to see the entire chart. But what he shows is that every time that we had a major open interest wipe into a period of time of negative funding rate. So here you can see open interest wipes in the bottom chart, and then right here just above that you can see the negative funding rates. Every time that has happened in the past, or at least quite often when that has happened, that was actually the bottom. All right, and you can see right here, so we're now looking at the chart of the last year, I think almost year. What you see is that every time we had one of those major open interest wipes and negative funding rates, it was the bottom. All right, and now we had one of those open interest wipes. The funding rates are still negative, slightly turning more bullish right now, but that's your hopium. All right, so that means that this could be a major bottom. Now, I'm not sure yet. I still think, especially looking at the higher time frames for Bitcoin, I mean, it's going to take a lot to break through the previous value area low at 93,000, but still that does mean that there still is some potential upside, right? And that's also one of the key reasons. I mean, if we take a look at the price action right here for Bitcoin, first of all, this is just an uptrend on the 4-hour time frame technically. We had a lot of leverage coming in, and there still is a lot of leverage. So at some point of time, that is going to lead to some bearish market, to some liquidity hunting. But for now, we're holding on fine. We're holding that previous week high right here at 87,000, also relatively well. On the 1-hour time frame, you can see some strength. Yesterday, we got some new volume coming in. Now, it's obviously also coming towards the end of the month, so we're getting towards some more volatile market circumstances, also with the PCE price index on Friday. But overall, this looks quite strong. The volume is also, well, the volume could have been better, but the volume is actually higher than it was, for example, last week. I'm not sure, because last week we had a lot of volume. But yeah, last week, exactly 7 days ago, volume was lower, and we've seen some sort of sustained volume increase. And outside of that, which you can also see to add some more information to this video, is that the Coinbase Bitcoin price is also still at a premium. So that's a good sign of some bidding coming in for Bitcoin. So I have to say that, we could have some more, especially during the US openings, we could have some more liquidity hunting, and we could shed some more leverage, dropping down into our main support right now between 86 and 85.5. But ultimately, I do still think it's most likely we will continue this 4-hour uptrend up to our next resistance level right here at 90,500. So that's what I would expect for now. And then, eventually, like I said, I don't see enough reason why we would drop down from here. And eventually, I do expect us to fill the gap. Both this gap right here, but also the CME gap we left down here. So be prepared for that. But ultimately, right now, we still look pretty good. But that's what I think you need to know. All right. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.